Welcome back. My name is Lee from Lewis's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make homemade cottage cheese. So at the moment you'll probably find that your supermarkets are pretty bare with the cottage cheese, and for something that I don't think anyone used to buy, it's flying off the shelves now, and that's due to the current trends with low carb and high protein meals and everything. So I need some cottage cheese today for a recipe, and rather than go in the supermarket and seeing there's none there, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make. Now this is going to be an exact replica of the one you get from the supermarket because that does have a rennet in it, but this is going to be so close that you're going to barely notice it, and it doesn't have all the other fillers in it that the one from the supermarket does have. So for the ingredients today, we're going to need a litre of milk. For every litre of milk, you need a quarter cup of vinegar. And then optionally, you can add a little bit of cream at the end, some salt, and then all I've got here is just a pot. I've got a clean dishcloth, so that's just brand new out the packet, and a sifter for when we go to drain it. And it's going to be so easy to make. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up the milk. So I'm going to pour that into a pot, and you can make as much as you want. I'm just going to make a small batch today, so that's why I'm only just doing about a litre. And now this is the difference with making ricotta and cottage cheese. So with ricotta, you do heat it up to almost boil. This one, from what I've been reading, about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 45 degrees, I think. So I'm just gonna put this on the stove. All right, and we're just gonna let that gently heat up, and I'll see you back when it's ready. All right, so that has now reached 48 degrees Celsius or 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can do that by checking with a probe, which I've already checked. Or you can do the finger test. So when I put my finger in, it's kind of like a hot bath. So it's not like so hot that it actually scorches you, but it's pretty warm. So it's not room temperature, or body temperature. It's a little bit higher than that. And my finger was clean. All right, so the next job we're going to do is we're going to grab our quarter cup of vinegar, and this is just basic, normal distilled vinegar. We're going to add that in, and I'm just going to kind of fold it through, and now you can see it's already starting to actually congeal, which is great. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lid on it, and we're going to leave it for 30 minutes, and then we're going to come back and strain it. So something to keep in mind, I was looking at the ingredients of the ones from the supermarket, and there is so many gums and everything in the ones from the supermarket, and I think that's a reason why they actually work when making the cottage cheese recipe and all that. So keep in mind, this might not work with it, but for all those other recipes where cottage cheese is just like a good alternative cheese to bump up the protein and everything, I think it's going to be a really good alternative. All right, so it's now been 30 minutes now, and you can see now this is beautifully separated. Now, if it doesn't look like this, where it still looks a bit milky or anything like that, you might need to add a little bit more acid. So just add a few more drops of vinegar, give it a good stir, give it a couple more minutes, and see if it comes out like that, and it should look like that, okay? So now we're going to strain it. So what I've got is a bowl here. Now, a lot of people do keep the whey from this and reuse it and everything. I'm not a huge fan of using it, so I'm just doing it over a bowl just to make it easier just to show you. And then all we're going to do is going to tip that out. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze out as much of that excess liquid. And then the next step is completely optional, but if you're not a fan of the kind of flavor from the vinegar, it really isn't there, but I find that it does linger around a little bit. I'm just going to grab some water, and I'm just going to rinse the cheese. Some people say do it for like 5 minutes or something like that. I don't think that's necessary. I think it's just a good rinse. So it's got some cold water here, and I'm just going to run that through that. So now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to completely get all of this out of it. So just going to squeeze out all that liquid. All right, so now I'm just going to grab our rinsed cheese here. And then I'm going to salt this slightly. So I'm just going to use some ground Himalayan salt. In this grind I get it pretty fine, so you're not going to get any of the rock or anything like that. So we're just going to massage that in. And then to get it just like the supermarket, we're going to grab some cream, and we're going to add probably about, I don't know, 2 tablespoons. Maybe I'll add 1 tablespoon, we'll see how we go. I'm thinking another tablespoon, so 2 tablespoons altogether. And it's yielded about a cup's worth of cottage cheese. And there we go, homemade cottage cheese. How easy was that to make? And it doesn't have any gums or fillers in it, so it's actually better than the one from the supermarket. So keep this recipe in mind if you can't get cottage cheese from your supermarkets. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.